Hi, I'm Nancy at Wilbur's, and today we're going to talk about lighting. There are three types of light in any room. There is ambient, task, and accent. Ambient light is your general illumination of the room. It comes from your overhead lighting, it comes from daylight coming in a window, and then there's task lighting, which is just like it says, it's a reading lamp next to a sofa or a chair. Anything that you sit and need to do a certain task. And then there's also accent lighting, which can be light on a picture, like right on the frame, or it can be an uplight in a corner. It's just kind of a little extra just for the general mood of the room. While it's most effective to use the three different types of lighting in a room, ambient, task, and accent, sometimes you'll have fixtures that can do double duty, if you will. Like this lamp is a 6-way lamp. That means it gives you 6 different levels of light, from the low ambient light to the higher task lighting. And I can show you that. That is your lowest setting, which is 50 watts. And you can go up from there. There's 100, there's 150. And then the center bulb is surrounded by 3 different lights that add another level of lighting for 6 different levels. So you could go from the lower wattage ambient lighting to a higher wattage task lighting, all in one fixture. Another way to control light in a room is by the shade on your lamp. The shape of the shade, the material that's on the shade, and the opacity or how much light comes through the shade all will have an effect on where your light goes and what happens to it. Now on this one, even though it's square, I guess you would consider it a drum shade because it's the same opening at the top and the bottom, essentially. And that's your lowest level of light. There's the next level. And you can see quite a bit of light coming through the shade. It is a fabric shade, but it's a fairly thin fabric. That's the brightest that it gets. You can see how it washes the upper wall with light because the amount that's coming out of the top as well as the bottom. So if we change that, now you change the shade to a different shape. This one is smaller at the top, wider at the bottom, and it's a more opaque material. It's a heavier shade, and you can see it kind of changes the color of the light because of the color of the shade, but also you're not getting as much light out the top, and you can see how that changes on the wall as you go up in your wattage, but it's really directing more light onto your table and less above. And now you can change that to a different type of shade, similar in shape, but more opaque because it's black. You're going to get much less ambient light. In fact, you get no light coming through the shade. You see the light below and a little bit above. And this will make, whoops. A black shade makes a nice task light for a desk or any place like in a room, like maybe a family room where you want to do reading or some kind of task in another part of a room and people are watching TV and they don't want that glare from the lamp on the screen. And you can see how much light you're getting above, really almost none. So that's another way to control light. Another thing to consider is the size of your lamp. Now, obviously you don't want a little tiny lamp with a great big sofa, so scale will be somewhat of an issue. And you say, well, how do I know when I've got the right lamp? Part of it is the height of the lamp. When you're sitting next to it, you don't want to see the bulb. So some of it will be the height of the lamp, some of it will be the size of the shade. A good rule of thumb is your shade should be just over a third of the height of your lamp, your total height of your lamp. So if you have a lamp that's 36 inches tall, your shade should be right around 13 to 14 inches in length. Also, a good test is just to set your lamp up and sit down next to it. If you can see the bulb or the bulb is glaring in your eye, then that gets annoying, so it would be a good clue that you need to change the lamp to a different size. Floor lamps can provide ambient or task lighting. I typically use them where you don't have room maybe for a table. They come in a variety of sizes and shapes. This one happens to have a swing arm that you can move your shade and your light fixture, which is really kind of nice if you need to direct light to a certain spot. Another type of floor lamp would be a torchère, which has a shade that directs light up, which is a good source for ambient light. And sometimes you can use them as an accent light, like in a corner. One thing to keep in mind is that lamps come in a vast array of shapes and styles and sizes, and they can add a decorative touch as well as light your home. So come down and see us at Wilbur's. We'd love to help you choose a lamp, give you some ideas about options for lamps, and we encourage you to take one home and try it in your setting and see how it works for you. Hi. Bye. Hi, I'm Nancy. Hi, I'm Nancy. It's a little less. I've lost my train of thought. Table lamps. Oh.